Ahoy, and welcome everybody. Welcome to Horizon's Call, Season 5, Episode 10. I actually know this one because I've typed it out a bunch today. I'm Derek Sword, I use he, him pronouns. I'm your GM for this game, and I am joined, as always, by these very lovely people who I will have introduce themselves and say more about their characters here momentarily. Before all that, I do want to say a couple things. First of all, this is a Sword and Key game. You can find all of Sword and Key's stuff at beacons.ai/Sword and Key. You can find all of our links. You can join our Discord right up at the top. You can see us live on Twitch. If you're watching us live on Twitch, hey, you did it, you done it. Go ahead and click that follow button if you don't mind. It's always appreciated. Otherwise, yeah, join our Discord. Be a member of our community. We're going to have applications out for our Pride Month games here really soon, and those get posted first to our Discord and social medias second. Social media is always going to be Instagram and BlueSky. If you scroll down a little bit more than that on the beacons, you're going to find links to some of our charitable organizations that we support, as well as Pally, which this game in particular utilizes. It is not charity unless you consider us charity, and I guess you could. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but if you do like
Fun crab cakes, snacks.
you can fund some snacks for crab cake. Look how hungry that poor kitten is. You can start playing in the arms of the angels. But yes, you can tip this cast and crew, all of whom are the same people, all right here. We have people who do production work, people who do crafting work, people who do the art, and then there's my little princess ass who just sits here and just tells my stories. So you can tip all of us at pally.gg slash was it like Sword and Key or something like that. It's pally.gg. If you type in Horizon's Call and Pally on Google, it'll come up, but the link is in chat as well as on all of our socials. And the really cool thing about Pally is that it evenly distributes anything that you are generous and able enough to tip, and it also provides incentives that you can impact our game. You can spice it up a little bit. You can give crits or advantages. You can name a ship at this point. You can give complications, which we call black spots, or you can even at this point give boons, which are nice happy things that they can throw our players' ways in dire times of need. When it comes to black spots or boons, which I'm really tempted to call booty. You can give some booty to our characters.
Do it. Do it.
I might. Those will always be up to the discretion of myself and the way the story kind of flows, because, hey, if we're having a really emotional scene and then you add a black spot, because you're like, throw a Hydra in there, that just seems bad for storytelling. Just not great. But everything's very much appreciated. And also,
hey, why'd you pick a Hydra?
It was just top of mind for some reason.
Okay.
Because I just watched the Hydra episodes and put that in the notes.
Don't give him an out, Jen.
I might have some players messaging me in the background about creating a Hydra army to defend their island, and I think that says a lot about these people and why they think that's a good idea. It's not for me to say yes or no. It's for me to arbitrate how the world would react, and poorly is that answer. But to get back on track, also on our beacons.ai/Sword and Key, you can find all of the links to our affiliates as well as our discount codes. We are affiliates with great companies like Eldritch Foundry, who make custom minis. They actually just introduced some like giant spider mounts for your characters if your character happens to ride a giant spider, as well as like armored bears, a whole bunch of different stuff. We're also affiliates with Hit Point Press, and we have a custom affiliate code with them. We do have a discount code for Eldritch Foundry. It gets you 10% off your first purchase. And we're also affiliates with Long Dog Dice. The incredible Jenn, who we are joined again by as our new permanent cast member, is Long Dog Dice. They're one and the same. And Long Dog Dice creates incredible dice sets like these, which are really neat. And I just got in the mail, and they're fucking awesome, and they're super gorgeous, and they're little maps, and they're so neat. And I've got the full dice set, and Can I share the special thing? Is that
you can absolutely share whatever you want.
Okay, I'm really excited. So Jenn's really cool, and Jenn sent me this dice set that I kind of asked for, and then Jenn went like above and beyond, and let's see if I can actually show that here. It's gonna look like that's a Sword and Key logo on a D6 in like great detail. It has the little diamonds on it and everything. It's just, oh man, that's so cool. I'm so fucking excited. So I don't know, maybe look out for more of that. I'm not here to say yes or no on that, but I'm here to say yes, I guess I should say.
I'll say it. Yeah, I took fancy photos, and they'll be on the website as a pre-order thing once I'm done with my convention. So
I'm very excited. And this dice set is so cool that you will be able to get this one and the same dice set as me, as Jenn is fantastic and keeps studious notes, as I've been told, on how to recreate stuff. So you can also get a D20 with the Long Dog Dice logo on it, that little dachshund right there. as well as the rest of these beautiful, beautiful dice. So I highly recommend checking out Long Dog Dice and using code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase. That said, let's go ahead and go around and have these lovely people say more about themselves. So, Mare, if you don't mind starting us out.
I just want to start this off by saying, Derek, if the Nereans can have, create these abominations as part of their army, I think we should be allowed to have a Hydra army.
Yeah. I think you just, I'm not saying no, I just think you need
Mare makes a
infrastructure.
great point, I think.
I'm just saying, I don't think that you all yet have the infrastructure as the same as an ancient empire with untold resources.
We're getting
What do we need to build?
What do we need?
What do we need to build?
Who do we need to hire? Let's get some ex-Nereans who just want to get the fuck away from the Empire and fuck them up. Let's go. Anyway, hi, I'm Mare. I use they, she pronouns, and I play Acacia, who uses she, her pronouns. She is your Soul Knight Rogue Star Druid Centaur, who has had the most awkward couple of weeks ever.
It's been a rough go. It's been a rough go for everybody, but Acacia's might be in first place for that one. Next up we have Eva.
Hi, hello, it's me, Eva. My pronouns are she, her, and today I am playing Winnie. Your sea elf, alchemical artificer, bard. Also she, her. And I will be co-chairing the shenanigans of little Jeffrey, my homunculus.
Okay. I really thought you were going to say you were co-chairing the committee for Hydra resources.
Also, yeah, no, for sure, that too.
Yeah, there's definitely not evil organizations just named Hydra in famous pop culture and media. That's not a thing at all.
Nope, sounds fine to me.
Oh, okay, good. We need to watch some movies. Next up, we would typically have Mikyl. But Mikyl is off today, and we wish him the absolute best. And he plays Proximus Midnight, who is a Shadow Sorcerer Paladin, Oath of the Infinite Seas, which is a custom Paladin oath that we made here for Horizon's Call. And Mikyl is also our resident artist, so all of the art that you see on screen, including the Proximus art that is in his little box there, that is from when Proximus had his run-in with Dominaria and lost his own binocular ability, I guess. He lost an eye. I don't know, I was trying to be fancy about it.
You forgot his signature, hey fam.
Yeah, oh sorry, yes. Hey fam. I'll just say it as one word. I'm not as cool as Mikyl. But you can check out all of his stuff at MAKYLSANDVOAL on Instagram, BlueSky, and as well as on our Discord. So you can see all of his art there, and I highly recommend that you do. Next up we have Kaila.
Hi, hello, my name is Kaila. I use she, her pronouns. I play Siren Storm Sorcerer Scarlett Shores, who also uses she, her pronouns. I have a chaos-filled Boyd running around my office today, as she has been locked up all day, as I was at a work event until 30 minutes ago.
And we couldn't even tell the difference. And I'm glad you took off the thing that says where you work, because no one needs to know that.
Nope. I specifically did not wear my work shirt.
And last but absolutely not least, we have our newest crew member, the lovely Jenn. Hello, Jenn.
Hello, I'm Jenn. I'm she, her pronouns, and I'm playing the Tiefling Tempest Cleric Kallista, who's also she, her, and she's fine. And she's gonna come back to a totally normal and chill island. That's a lie. She did scry. She knows it's not good.
She does know better. Yeah.
Yeah, she does know better.
Well, great. Well, Jenn, you actually have your first recap this week. So the floor is yours whenever you are ready. Please take it away.
Oh, wonderful. So last week, we kind of had two different views going on. We got to see where Kallista has been after she got on the ship to GTFO, after she popped back to the Prime Plane, but did not get very far. While the ship she was on was making a pit stop for the evening, she went to a tavern and got to overhear some Nerean soldiers talking about, among other things, a little attack on a pirate haven in the direction that she had just come from, and that sounded suspicious, so she did a fancy little scry and got to see the immediate aftermath of what had happened to everybody. So she turned around and found a ship appropriately called the Hand of Fate to take her back. and started her journey back to see if she could help everyone back at Phoenix Landing. But back on Phoenix Landing, again, immediate aftermath of things. People are trying to pick up the pieces, assess damage, find the scuttled ship that had a beached ship that had the nightmare beasts on it originally that might be salvageable. And then there was a nice little council meeting where Rollin proposed maybe actually using the rings to help defend the island from further attacks and incursions. But Acacia was not at the council meeting because she had gone off into the woods to have a nice little snooze the night before, away from everything, and woke up trapped in iron bands with a panveer there. And they had a totally normal, healthy conversation that went very well for everyone involved, where he was definitely very upset and confused by her responses to the question, "Why did you contact me?" And she was like, just kind of wanted to see what you would do with that and what could happen and if there was anything we might be able to fix. And threatened to kill her, and she said, "I'm not going to fight you." And he tried to call her bluff, and he stopped just short of actually taking a blade to her neck. And then everyone had a very nice emotional hug, where she'd also lovingly called him an idiot. And I think that covers all of our major highlights. Oh, wait, no, and then I did something stupid. We got to pop back and see Kallista the night before she arrives back on the island, where she pulled out that soul coin that Winnie had given her back in the Hells and tried to release the soul from it after having a nice little conversation with it of like, hey, this is clearly a person Kallista knew, and what do you want to do? He was like, forget about me. She tried to let it go, and a claw came out and did a bunch of damage to her, and then her friend in the coin was mad about it, and it was not fun. And so now there's confusion and anger, and he sucks. Now I've covered everything.
We also found out that Payman had a chat with.
I was like looking around because Mykyl's not here. Yes, I did skip that. Yes, Proximus responded to a call for help under some rubble, and it was actually Payman. Who is very aware of what he did with the water whip shenanigans because he's had plenty of time to think about it. Because time is weird in hell. And he's upset and was responsible for the invitation that was extended to Mercy to show up at the wedding with friends. There we go.
Excellent job.
All right.
Very well done. Great. Okay.
2 time skippy was hard.
There was a lot of time skips around, and we're not done with them. Where we left off last time was Kallista essentially reaching Phoenix Landing. However, we kind of did a little time skip just so we could establish that Kallista was there, but that would be to ignore a month that has gone by in the interim where all of this planning, all of this building potentially has gone on, as well as the interactions that likely would have occurred in that month between Acacia and Panveer. So, while Kallista is on the ship having her emotional time, let's cut back to Phoenix Landing in that month's time for anything that any of you might have been up to in that time. So,
to clarify, I thought it was 2 weeks because it took 2 weeks for Kallista to go out.
Trying to think. Let me look at our map real quick.
We had originally said it was going to be like 20 days, and then it was like, I'm going to scry, and you're like, I want you to see what actually happens. We're like, it actually took a month, so...
That's true. That's true.
We did some timey-wimey bullshit.
The ship was making stops.
Yeah.
The ship was a slower ship, and yeah, we can definitely say it was taking its time,
fair.
but she has boarded a ship headed for Hillholm, which is going to make a little stop over at Phoenix Landing. So with that in mind, yeah, we can say you've got couple of weeks, about between 20 to 30 days, we can say like 25 days of stuff that you could potentially be doing before Kallista is going to arrive back at Phoenix Landing. So with that in mind, what would those 25 days look like for Winnie, for Acacia, for Scarlett, and anyone else that you might want to involve in that?
Okay, I'll go. Winnie would like to I mean, I guess help clean up and stuff. That's little Jeffrey can carry stuff. I mean, it seems only right and fair. Especially because she would still, like, help from some of the townsfolk for her and Acacia's library. So, you know, one good turn and all that. Oh, that's a good name for a bookstore.
The Good Turn.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the great thing about little Jeffrey when it comes to cleaning up is he is kind of like one of those trash cans you can step on like the bottom and the lid opens up, and then he's got his you can just dump all the garbage in, and then he flies over because he does have a bag of holding inside of him, and then just turns upside down and goes blah, 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 and it all just comes out.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to make the noise. That's
no.
That's something that
That's
Winnie
for
programmed.
funsies.
I didn't program that in. How did that happen?
Oh no, he's machine learning. But the fun kind. Not the kind that takes jobs.
I would like to know, I know the wizard tower was attacked, but it was mostly fine, right? Like, it was just a lot of dead bodies. Like, the tower itself was pretty okay.
From what you saw, the front doors had been blown open, but
I don't care about them. They're not mine.
That's about as far as anybody got. Roland seemed to slaughter a, like, small battalion all on his own.
Yeah, good for him. I would like to be using my alchemy lab to continue making alcohol. Cider, I believe. I have my notes.
Okay.
Acacia's cider should be done pretty soon. I don't know how long that takes. But I'd also like to make some potions. I know there's rules for it. We can either get into those details later or whatnot. I could just tell you, I guess.
Yeah. I know that the new 2024 rules did establish like better tool utilization rules. So let me see if there is actually something for that, because I have not read through it and I don't have.
I can just DM you. It's nothing at the moment super weird. I do want to make a potion of enlarge reduce. I think I have to pick one. So okay. Enlarge, and then like healing potions and whatnot. I also want to look around and see if that little I think it was a pen that I left by the door to record. Yeah. Y'all thought I forgot. I didn't. I want to see if it worked.
Okay. Give me one moment here.
I know I already rolled to see if it like would do what I wanted it to do, but I don't know what it caught or if it caught anything.
Right. So you're recording 6 seconds?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
Or up to yes. 6 seconds.
Okay, so what I have in my notes is recording device left by Winnie for Rollin, 6 seconds. So it was meant to pick up like the next thing that was said.
Yeah.
The next thing that it kind of picked up, and this was after you had basically just left.
Yeah.
This was before the attack, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is when he was like pacing around being weird. And his eyes were like going black and then not black and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, we can say that, it has a red blinking light that it's recorded. You have 6 seconds of something in it. He doesn't seem to have necessarily detected it.
I'll take it with me and listen back at my house. Other than that, if there's, I don't know how long it's going to take to clean anything up. I would like to.
It'll take weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has magic, to a certain degree, right? But yeah.
You know what sounds like a good idea that only just occurred to me is talking to my girlfriend about like creatures that might be good at defending the island. Like, hey, there was a hydra that lived here before. What do we think about procuring hydras? Or similarly defensive type creatures.
Okay, let's resolve one thing before we get to the other. Okay, please. Okay, so you wanted to listen to the recording when you got home. So you activate the recording. You have 6 seconds where Roland's pacing, and you can hear his voice kind of distantly, right? Because it's on the other side of the door. But you're boost the volume, however you need to do to hear him clearly. And I can't remember exactly what the interaction was. You had spoken to him just before that.
It was we were setting up. He had suggested that I go up on the roof for fireworks. This was the night of the wedding. That's right.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So cats are freaking out. You just hear him go. Honestly, Winora, your priorities are so askew. If you just understood what I was trying to do here, if you understood the gravity of it all, I wish I could tell you more. And that's just kind of where it cuts off.
Huh. I'm going to destroy it, or it's a pen, so I'm just gonna remove the magical aspect of it. And now I've stolen a pen from him. Except it was in my lab, so I guess it was mine. Anyway, yes.
Okay. And then you want to talk to B about monster security procurement?
Yeah.
Okay.
MSP.
Right, the Monster Defense Department, the MDD. Hold on, there's got to be something. Let me work on it. I'll come up with something.
Monarch?
Feels like
there's
that's
something
being
there.
used. No, I feel like I've heard that one. Yeah, Goji Center? No. Okay. So, yeah, B's been doing a lot of work with the monsters that you had in the mirror, and you present this idea of monster defense. Wow. That's a big question. I didn't know there was a Hydra here. Hydras are nasty. You fought a Hydra?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say we fought it well, but we got the job done.
Dang. They're really nasty for the environment.
Yeah.
They typically like make up a whole bunch of stuff rot, and they're pretty toxic. And they really they make the water hard to drink. They're real nasty.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
Them.
I didn't know if it was just like that one or something, but yeah, that's bad news.
Yeah. But you wanna try to defend the island from monsters, with monsters? What are we doing?
Like if we were under attack again, like guard dogs, but better able to take care of themselves. And maybe work in tandem with the environment.
So you want
unicorns, maybe.
Yeah, but they're finicky and some of them are assholes. Okay, so you want monsters that will live on the island, that are aggressive, but not to the native peoples here, or at least the resident peoples here, but will become aggressive towards invaders, but also are smart enough to know the difference between invaders and merchants?
Yeah, or defensive, maybe. Protective.
Okay. And what's your budget?
Well, let's say that's pretty open at the moment. Meaning I don't know. Let's see what we can source and then yeah, go from there.
Okay. Why don't you give me I'll have you roll for B. Why don't you do a D20 roll plus 5?
17, 22?
Okay, 22 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of things that are guard animals. There's hellhounds, which are pretty good guard animals, but it's tough to keep them fed, and it takes millennia to really build that loyalty and trust with them.
I don't think we have that kind of time. Also, I think we're trying to avoid the hells at this point. It wasn't really fun down there.
Sure. There's stuff you could build. You're really good at building stuff, and I know there's like iron defenders and golems. You could like have living statues and stuff like that. There's all sorts of plants that you could put under the water or around the water, but they're kind of finicky and they might go after whoever gets close enough to them. It's not like poison ivy cares whoever touches
No,
it.
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, I remember the rash. Is many rashes. Yeah. It's surprising you didn't learn the first time. It took a few times.
Yeah, we don't really need to relive that part. That's not
true.
the best part of that trip.
You could always hire out a dragon if you had enough gold. You could just bribe a dragon to live on the island. They're pretty good defensively, but again, you got to keep that dragon happy, or they're gonna start taking livestock.
I don't think dragons are
princesses.
really. We're not really. I don't think I told you that story.
That's concerning.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the idea about the living statues, though. Maybe I should go talk to Zinji.
Yeah, Zinji and you always love building neat stuff, and other than that, it's kind of hard to you either have pets or there's wild animals, and you're kind of looking for like a middle ground.
There's middle grounds. There's Dominera's friend.
That's her mount. I've met that thing, and it is really cool, but it also makes me never want to go in the water again.
Yeah, but it's not a wild animal or a pet.
It's kind of a pet, isn't it? It's like saying like a horse isn't a pet. Like she rides it, it sticks around, it has a name. She has reins on it.
I
and
think
a saddle.
It's a working partnership that kind of puts it in a different cat. Okay.
Listen, I'm a druid, and even that sounded self-sanctimonious.
I just think there's a little bit of a difference. Yeah, okay. That's good thinking. I'm gonna go talk to Zinji about logistics. Ooh, maybe Waller?
Waller is kind of a living statue.
Yeah. And I think Waller made...
Relief.
The cat thing? His name just escaped me. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, love you, bye! I'm gonna run off and find Waller and Zinji and whatnot.
Yeah, Waller and Zinji, I believe I've established work at the local forge, and they are not there now, as they have been lending their tools and their workmanship to rebuilding parts of the infrastructure, kind of picking up some of the rubble and everything else, and kind of putting things back together. So you would find Waller holding up a wall, surprisingly enough, and Zinji has like 3 nails sticking out of her mouth, big shock of orange hair, gnome goggles on top of her head, just as always, blacksmith's apron. But she is, while the wall's being held up, she's kind of hammering back in this plaster into these support beams that are on the side of the building. They've gotten part of the inn, like the structure rebuilt, but it's still going to take some time before it's back to where it was before.
I would like to assist while I ask my question. Can I... is there anything I can help you with? Also, Percival. I remember now, the 6-legged cat.
Yeah, Percival. Yep.
Percival.
Mm-hmm.
Construct cat. Yeah. Key difference. I want to pick your brain, but I don't want to distract you. Is there something I can hold? Or hammer? Or paint? Or what have you?
Yeah, you're welcome to pick up a hammer if you want. Percival's actually helping quite a bit. And you look down, the cat opens its mouth, and it's just full of nails.
Amazing. Perfect.
Just a little metal 6-legged cat, just meow.
I have a proposition for you.
A preposition or a proposition? Because, I could go for either.
Prepositions later, proposition now.
I can live with that.
Okay. Island defensive living statues. Or golems. Or something of that ilk. Like, quasi-mass produced. What do you think?
I'm waiting for the question mark. Was that That would sound more like a statement?
Yeah, well, like, you and me, let's figure this out. How do we do this?
Okay. So you're asking how would we go about making an army of automatons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aesthetically pleasing, but also offensively useful.
Yeah. When has an army of robots ever been a bad thing?
No time I can think of.
Well, okay.
Oh yeah, we were both reclaimers, weren't we? We saw a lot of destroyed cities. Anyway,
Sure did. Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, it's Warforged have the idea going on, and there's always the ones that have the reliquaries in them that have more of somebody else inside of a thing. But you can always make your golems and your Iron Defenders, and I know it's expensive. You got to get all the materials. You got to put a lot of work into it. Personally, I think it's cheaper just to get zombies and skeletons, but that also requires resources. Yeah, it could be done, but you need the stuff for it, is what I'm saying.
Wait,
and it's gonna cost.
Can you raise zombies?
No, that's not my deal. No,
Okay.
You need one of those neck romances for it.
Yeah, okay. I think I read a racy novel about that once.
I was gonna say I like a neck is the same as the next person, but they really like them.
Okay, let's put that on the back burner for now.
Neck romances, the boning. That was what the title was.
Okay, focus. Automatons.
Sequel, the Sins of the Flesh.
Okay. Okay. So, what kind of cost are we talking about here?
It depends on what kind. You make your stone ones, you're gonna need a stone worker, and then you're gonna need the right sigils and runes, and you're gonna need a wizard to bring them. Sure, but you're gonna need to make sure that the stone workers are familiar with making something that can also move.
Oh, we'll make them familiar.
Okay, that was a concerning way of saying that. Otherwise, I mean, there's ones you can make out of clay. Little less substantial when it comes to defensive purposes, but they do the job fine if you make enough of them. I'm not sure if we have any good clay deposits. Well, actually, no, I'm pretty sure we do.
We definitely do.
The erratic, of
yeah.
course. Yeah, you got to say that. We have quite a lot of clay.
We would have to leave some left over because we don't want to,
weirdly canonical that we have quite a lot of clay here on this island.
Haha, yeah.
Me. Yeah, otherwise, if you're making like the Iron Defenders and the metal ones, I mean, that gets pretty expensive because you're making a giant suit of armor and then all the stuff that's inside of it. Yeah.
Okay.
If you ever get down to the southeast, where I'm from, I know you've never really been. I haven't been for a while, but my family, my extended family, we do pretty well when it comes to the automata.
Yeah?
Just saying.
You automata introduced me to your family?
You think this is a fucking joke, Winnie?
Kinda.
Yeah.
I
I mean, I can point on a map where it is. A lot of people don't know where it is.
That'd be super useful, because I kind of thought you were in the southwest.
Nope, southeast.
Where you from, Zinji?
Netherhome. It's right next to the compass rose on our map. It's right down.
Okay.
It's in the center of the water, right here.
Yeah, pretty nice. Yeah.
Most people don't know where it is. We like it that way, but I like you.
Could be good. Could be good to go on a little trip. Maybe we could take a little time later and like drop a little shopping list, a potential shopping list of what we would need in like cost benefit analysis. I'll buy you a cider or a beer or something, like, 'cause that sounds kind of dry otherwise. And see what it would take to get this to happen.
All right. Yeah, in the meantime, I mean, I gotta focus on...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Doing this nonsense, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll help you out. And then, yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
I would like to acquire a spreadsheet with goods, services, and dollar amounts.
Okay. Well, you might have to invent that. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
No, I'm sure there's some sort of like... that's weird. I'm sure there's some sort of like, charter book sort of deal. Okay. So, Scarlett or Acacia, anything for y'all?
Rebuilding my house.
Definitely some workers that are focused on that as well. You are enough of a pillar of the community, having helped establish this island, that yes, as many people are working on the town center, there are people that are helping, like, hey, wedding gift, since the wedding gifts kind of got destroyed by monsters, this is fine. We're happy to help here. It takes a little bit of time, but early on with they actually take some of like the ship sails and kind of like use that as tarp to block off parts of your house, so you're still able to sleep with a roof over your heads, and still able to sleep inside the house for the most part. But construction does end up with you and Marcus outside the home for a few weeks, at least during the day, while the construction takes place.
We're just not going to talk about the wedding day. We're married. It happened. We don't talk about that yet. We're not ready to delve into that trauma yet.
Marcus has started donning a simple eye patch over his eye to compensate for his recent wound. And yeah, there's every now and then he'll just look to you and he'll open his mouth to say something, and he won't. Weather's nice today.
Of all things, you're going to talk about the weather?
I'm just not sure what else to talk about. It feels like... I just think the weather's the least traumatic thing right now.
For now.
Is there something else you would rather talk about?
There's always work.
There's always work. The ships are looking well and are ready to disembark any day now when we have a headache.
Mm.
Okay,
Will
this
we
is why I
ever-
talk about the weather.
I feel like we should talk about it, but I don't want to.
That's fair. It's been rough sailing for a little while now. Some choppy seas, a few doldrums here and there, and then no shortage of tempest after that. So, yes, it has been. But we're at port now, and together, and married. That's nice. That's pretty good. And despite what has happened directly afterwards, we're still together and stronger for it.
You really
Sorry,
had to
should have
force
said that
that
more
one, didn't
confidently.
you?
We are stronger for it.
I love the fake confidence.
And you have to fake it until you make it, I think. Listen, we've both lost a lot, but we still have each other, and so I still have more than I've ever had before. And this is but a moment, and there will be many better moments after this. So with clear eye and full heart, we can't lose.
Well, you shouldn't have a problem with your blind fighting, right?
Let's go back to talking about the weather.
I can ask Winnie about the same thing that she did for Proximus.
He's accused me of copying him enough at this point. Let's just...
No, but it's more like opposites. Fire, water. You both have the same intelligence, right?
Wow. That's the meanest thing you've ever said to me. And I need to double check that now because fuck, that can't be true.
Look, Scarlett's stressed. She's mean, okay?
Listen, just because you're stressed doesn't mean you have to be snippy.
No, it does.
So mean. Well, I check to see if that bullshit's true.
Both himbos.
You can be smart and be a himbo, okay? You can be intelligent and still be a himbo. I'm living proof of that. All Proximuses.
For everyone that was admitted on a live stream in front of
that was admitted.
the entire audience.
This water bottle, Kaila gave me a sticker at one point that said emotional support himbo, and it's one of my favorite stickers.
I'm so glad we're self-aware on this cast.
Subscribe to it. I don't have Proximus character sheet. Whatever. I'll have Mikyl next time.
No. I'll check Proximus's character sheet. What is Marcus's intelligence?
Marcus has a 12. He has a +1.
He is
Marcus
smarter
higher,
than
Marcus is higher than
Proximus.
Proximus's.
Okay.
Proximus has a negative modifier.
Yes.
Yeah. I take it back.
There are moments where they have the same thought, okay? But that's overall intelligence. I firmly believe that's what a himbo is. A himbo is not dumb. He has all the information. He just can't collect it properly because there's like a little goblin inside of his brain that's carrying way too many things, and it's just like dropping papers along the sides. Like, I don't know. This is probably the answer. Like, wait, how do you talk to women? He's like, Titanic facts.
Marcus's dragon facts.
Yeah, it's also subcategory autism. So.
Oh, that Venn diagram.
It's a circle. Okay.
Back to being twins.
Mm-hmm.
With
Yes.
Proximus.
I will think about it. I like it's very aesthetic to have an eye patch, right?
If that's what the aesthetic you want. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's a problem that we need to fix. There are just options.
There are options. I will consider looking into those options.
Even if it's just taping a googly eye. If I don't laugh about it, I might cry, and that's not something any of us want.
Like a magical googly eye, or just one for fun?
I don't know. I can see if Winnie can make it magical. I don't know.
Somehow I hate that more.
Now I have to ask her.
You don't. You're not being compelled. You could make a better choice. Please.
Across the island, Winnie just sits up.
Because I get like tingles.
Right. Yeah, a chill runs down her spine.
I will ask as a hypothetical, not as an actual solution. Mainly because I just want to know if she can do it now.
Wonderful. I'm surprised she hasn't turned her magical goggles into googly eyes.
She is now.
little Jeffrey has grown ears to perk them up.
Please don't give the shark ears.
There's a disturbance in the forest.
Uh,
No, he's got like little Godzilla ears. Cute. Little Jeffrey has a listening device in his fin. It just starts like beeping. Okay.
Now that I'm done giving shit to my new husband.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you wanted to achieve in the meantime?
Usual captain crew stuff.
Yeah,
Since the ships are up and fixed, they now need to be maintained, even if it is just skeleton crew.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have set watches, the presumption being that the ships aren't going to stay in port forever. So resupply, making sure that at least, base supplies are held in storage, and that the ships should be ready to leave the dock within a day's notice, is at least the idea. Great. Acacia.
Acacia, I think. Yeah, so after the wedding, Acacia's like, he doesn't really have a choice. She just kind of carries Panveer back to the house, because last we left off, he was crying, and she has questions she needs to ask him, but it's so fucking awkward. So they're both, it's just like, she has things she wants to say, he probably has things he wants to say, but it's just this tense, awkward silence, and she's like afraid to leave her house, like to do errands and like other things, like helping her out on the island, because what if he's gone when she gets back? So I think the real question is, who says something first? And I don't know who that would be or how we would resolve it.
Do you want to roll for it?
Yeah, we can roll for it.
Okay. Just want to do a flat D20 roll?
Yeah, flat D20. We're going for high or low here.
Jen, why is the first roll I got on your die a 1?
Because balanced dice have to roll bad sometimes, and you're getting it out of the way.
I wasn't going to say that. I didn't want to reset your counter.
I got a 16.
They're bounced.
So I think that means if you got a nat 1, you gotta.
No, I think Panveer's gonna be the first one to say something. You've carried him back to your house, and just like
she just like plops him on like the island in the kitchen, the island counter, and just is doing stuff awkwardly around the house, like putting like away dishes, moving like a bowl from like 2 inches. It's putting her staff down. Also, where's Piper?
Nice.
Where's Piper? Is Piper here?
Piper like flies into the windowsill. She's like, "Hello! Oh, there's a guest. Hello, I've seen you before. You scared me with your knife. Do you still have it? Can I have it? You seem upset. I'll come back later for knives." Flies off.
Please don't ever give him a knife.
I don't trust birds. I don't think they're real.
I'm sorry?
It's besides the point. I would like a glass of water, please.
Yeah. And like she'll take like a cup, water, and just like plops it down next to him.
Just takes a sip.
So what's next? Are you staying? Are you going?
I don't know where to go. I didn't expect to get this far. I didn't expect to be breathing at this point. Fuck, are you gonna tell your dads?
I'm still thinking about it. I'm leaning on no at the moment.
I don't think they're gonna be happy to see me.
Yeah. maybe I can figure out a way to slowly introduce them to the idea not to kill you.
He's kind of looking around. You've got high ceilings. You've got an island in your kitchen. Implies that there's enough space for a horse to move around with an
Correct.
island. Like you have a larger home, and he is a halfling, so just like feet dangling off this like centaur height island. He is high off the ground.
To be fair, there are step stools for my short friends.
There sure are.
There are stools that are like. So I imagine she doesn't have an attic. It's just like all like the rafters and the support beams. Mm-hmm. She has like the chairs like resting up there. So when people come over, she could take them down, but they're not actively on the floor.
Your house is really big.
I'm a horse. It has to be.
How many rooms do you have?
Kitchen, my bedroom, and she just like looks off to the side, which would technically be like a living room, but she uses it as a bed. Yep. And 2 rooms that I don't know what I'm doing with yet.
Must be nice to have spare rooms.
If you're staying here, you can use one of them.
Who said I was staying here?
That's why I said
it's nice to have spare rooms. Yeah, if.
The offer stands. You could just say thank you.
Thank you.
We can figure it out and talk about details later. Pantry is stocked with dried food. Help yourself. Also, get used to Piper. That's the bird.
Gathered.
Yeah. As annoying as he is, as much as he asks, do not give him a knife.
Speaking of, he pulls the knife off of like his little bandolier of knives and hands it to you. I'm assuming you're going to want me to disarm, so you can have starts like pulling off knives.
Stop.
Out of his
No,
boot.
I'm not going to ask you to disarm. If you wanted to kill me, you would have done it already. And I'm not. And if you decide to attack me, I'm not as defenseless as you think.
That's kind of what I was counting on.
Me disarming you?
No, you not being as helpless as you seem. Not that you seem helpless.
You fought me enough to know that I'm not. And I've got more tricks up my sleeve that would make it very hard for you to expect.
So what are the rules then? Do I have to pay you rent? Do I have to do your dishes? What do I have to do? What's the catch?
Do you want there to be a catch? Have you ever had a roommate before?
I've slept in rooms where other people sleep.
That doesn't count.
I've never really paid rent before. I've never really actually slept under a roof where there haven't been far too many people also sleeping in that room. I just think I'll be suspicious if there's not a catch.
just help out where you can. Clean up after yourself.
Okay.
If you trust your nature knowledge, you're more than welcome to gather stuff. If you feel brave enough to go out into town, you can get food. But there's a lot of Corans here. And I don't know how you feel about that. But also, you're a good little sneak.
Oh, is Gustav still around?
Yes. Why?
He owes me gold.
He owes like half of the town gold. You're not getting that back.
It's probably true. He kind of just looks at you in the eyes and narrows his eyes a little bit. I don't want to talk anymore right now. I'm gonna go to a room. I'm going to lock the door.
Sure.
All right then.
Also,
Hops
Derek,
down
I
off
do
the
want to
island.
make a note that one of the mugs I gave him with water is one of Bridget's mugs.
It's a
So in
butt
a
mug,
rotter,
yeah.
it's a butt mug.
He sets it down and then kind of like turns a little bit and he goes, Proximus?
No, I don't think so.
It's blue and I thought I'd recognized it. You get used to being at that eye level. You kind of identify people by their posteriors more than their faces. Anyway.
We'll
Later.
talk later. Yeah.
He just goes like, just patting off, turns back and looks at you a little bit. Turns around, goes in the room, softly shuts the door, and then you hear a click as it locks.
I feel like there's a lot of that over the next couple weeks, but I also want to go talk to Rollin.
Yeah. A few days go by. You clop into town, up the hill to where Rollins Keep is, and it's the Wizard Tower, and you can see that there's a few workers there that are repairing the front doors, but Rollin is inside in his usual area. He is sitting there, actually, not just standing around, but he is leaned over a book with his fingers in his ears as there's like hammering on the doors and everything, and then he just slams a book closed as you come walking in. He goes, "Could you please shut..." Hello, Acacia.
Hi, Rollin.
What can I do you for?
I wanted to talk to you and get the details from you that I missed at the meeting a couple days ago.
Yes. Details meeting other day. Yes. Yes, we, the council, your friends, Winora, and we sat down, we decided that the island needed defenses.
Yes.
And more or less I contributed as much information as I could, and I believe the decision has gone somewhere between watchtowers being built along the port, as well as perhaps some other defenses here or there. Nothing necessarily set in stone, aside from some builders that I'm going to bring in from Acacia, and to build those guard towers. I think Winora's on some sort of Hydra procurement or something along those lines. She wants to infest this island with more monsters. I haven't been able to really handle that one just yet. And then I was hoping to do some experiments on the Elder Rings and utilize their power for some sort of defensive measures. But I'm not there just yet. I'm trying to get some reading done on how I might advance those efforts.
I was going to ask about that if you had any details on that. Considering the rings are not finished nor whole.
Correct, for their final purpose, absolutely. but they do have innate power. They have been used and were being used in some cases from the ones that you found as magical batteries or sources of power. And if I could channel energy into them and perhaps energize them with some spellcraft and a bit of the weave, then perhaps I could manipulate that magical energy into a shield or barrier or other forms of defensive measures. But like I said, still working on it.
If you need any assistance on any of that, please let me know. I would very much like to help with that in getting that plan approved and off the ground.
Sure. You're a magical user yourself. Perhaps you could try to, and as I understand, you understand Elder, perhaps you could try to do some arcane experimentation yourself. See what kind of energy you can channel into these rings and source from it.
Or maybe using a... Do you know any wizards that specialize in protective magics?
No, abjuration wizards.
Yes.
I knew some back at the Arcanium, but none necessarily here.
What idea, instead of powering, this is just an idea. Instead of pouring energy into the rings and using the rings as a source of casting point, what if you do vice versa and use and amplify a spell that's already been created and expanding the length and size of that instead and using it like a battery?
Absolutely, or even an arcane focus at that point. Channeling that spell and the energy, absolutely, and then magnifying it. Yes, you seem to be grasping the concept, absolutely.
Alternatively, if you wanted to do something similar, you could maybe rope Winnie in, or Zinji, or another artificer to use it as a trigger point, so a wizard doesn't have to be the one to activate this defenses.
Sure, there are other magical alternatives. Like I said, even yourself, I know you have more of a connection to the natural world, but you source from the arcana the same as anyone else would, just a variant on the pathway that you take.
Yeah.
Yes, I will see if I can rope Winora into some of this. It's just tough keeping her focus sometimes.
Correct.
She's so incorrigible.
Giving her something to focus on definitely helps, though.
Mm-hmm. I'll see if I can get some jingling bells or something, just to keep her attention. A set of keys, perhaps.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, if you need me to talk to anyone, because it didn't sound like the others were for the idea. And I know I've been very against the use of the rings in the past, but
Yes.
I'd like this to not happen again.
I wasn't going to question your turnaround. An ally is, well, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth.
Ha.
No insults intended. But it does make sense.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll look into it, and I will let you know if there's any additional research that you can provide. But in the meantime, the one thing that will help us the most is procuring more rings. The bigger our shield, the safer we'll be.
Yeah, I know. Everyone is busy right now, so once we're all have a chance to get together next time, we'll figure out our next path, next course of action. Maybe after we know that the island is going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Well then, I will see if I can expedite my research.
You have any books that
wouldn't
you've
happen
already
to have-
gone through that I can borrow?
He gestures to the far end of this circular table, and there's just stacks and stacks of books, like a city skyline of books.
I'll grab like a handful at random.
Mm-hmm. But you wouldn't happen to have a silence spell prepared, would you?
No, not part of my repertoire. Well, I could. Actually, Actually, yes. I'll take out my flute. And, just wait. And I'll begin to play it, but nothing comes out except magic. And it just kind of encases him in a silence spell. And that lasts for how long? 10 minutes. It's not going to last long, but it'll be enough.
10 minutes is better than nothing. As you exit the silence bubble, the sound of like hammers on wood hits you once again, and yeah, with a stack of books, you're welcome to go about your day.
Yeah, I'm done. That's all I really had to do. But y'all don't really see Acacia a lot in the next month. She definitely tries to stay close to home.
Okay. Then yeah, as those 25-ish days go by, Acacia, you have some light reading to do. Some journals of long deceased wizards and some analysis of the manipulation of magic between planar systems, and some books on like elder archaeology, and a few theoretical books
elder
on
archaeology. Hell yeah.
Yeah, which you all encountered a site when you were in Ulmborg. You encountered a site. So there's a few archaeologists who have dug up some elder stuff here and there, and then there's some theoretical stuff on how to recreate elder technology, or even like elder sites. And there's like little diagrams of, hey, we found this is probably a fragment of this, and it's pretty heady reading, but still, like, when you do like see those fragments, when they have drawn out, you're able to get fragment pieces of elder words or sentences, and again, as we've kind of described before, you can see that while they do appear like hieroglyphic or even sigil like, you can translate them to being fragments of spells, that spells were carved into these materials to then create like a form of like permanent spell, in a way, and almost in a way of like a teleportation circle, how it has a permanent basis on the ground. These were much more mobile, or they like, even the buildings themselves would be inherently magical if they were built from these structures.
When I see those, anything that could be translated from elder, I'll make my own copies at home.
Great. Yeah, and whether you're putting it down on paper or engraving it into something else, it doesn't become inherently magical. So you get the vibe that there's got to be something else involved in this equation, that it's not just writing this down.
Yeah, there's a lot missing.
You can write down a spell in a book. It doesn't make the book magical. It means you could then like utilize the information that's in that book. But yeah. Okay. Well, as those 25 days go by, and Acacia deals with her new roommate, and Scarlett works on rebuilding her home and maybe even a little bit her relationship, and Winnie works on just all that nonsense. The time goes by. Ships from Acacia are said to be on their way. They're going to probably get there later than Kallista does. So, Kallista, your ship, the Hand of Fate, is only a few days out when you have your conversation with Anders. And as those couple of days go past, as you're still like kind of nursing that wound, that claw mark on your neck, which leaves a mark for a day, not like a bruise, but like a sooty black kind of stain that doesn't wash away immediately. It stays there for a minute, but it's faded enough by the time that you reach port at Phoenix Landing. And as the gangplank is lowered, and as you prepare to leave the Hand of Fate or this island that you were never sure you would see again, what would you like to do?
I think she has spent the last several days kind of cycling through, replaying past events, replaying what happened with the coin, being upset, being angry, being confused again about the claw, especially when that mark doesn't leave. And is just cycling through a lot of that, probably isn't sleeping super well, to the point where maybe she doesn't even kind of quite notice that the ship has arrived until there's kind of somebody who has to wave in front of her face being like, you get off, go. And now she's at that moment of feeling like that maybe this thing that just happened with Anders in the coin is she's feeling less confident about the choice to come back here. But she did tell them she was coming, or at least told Proximus, kind of hoping he said something. And it's like, well, let's just see. And I think when she first gets here, she's not going to let anybody know she's here immediately. All she knows is that when she reappeared, it was in what Jenn knows is Rollins Keep. And so it makes sense that everyone is associated with that place. And so she probably is going to start walking that direction, but taking the long path to do so because she wants to see where everything is here, like what state everything is in, and try to get a handle on how bad things still are and like how much recovery has happened from the little bits that she got to see what scars are still here, and just try to get the vibe of both the actual city itself and then the people around it. Are people still very distraught? Is there a determination? Like what is going on here? Trying to level set what she might be walking into. And very much taking a meandering path. And we'll start going up towards the keep eventually, unless she sees something or someone that kind of sends her a different way.
Okay. Well, with that meandering path, why don't you roll me a survival check?
Oh, boy. That's not bad. Where's survival? Alphabets are so hard. 22. I have a good survival stat.
Yeah.
Who knew?
You would need it for navigating in the hell, honestly.
You know what? Fair. Yes. You know, when you say it like that, I did live in hell for a long time. Survival makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So you set foot onto the dock, and that like you can kind of smell that storm rolling in from somewhere. You look out, and you don't see storm clouds anywhere, but it's kind of that smells like moisture in the air, that dampness. It's different than being near the ocean, which has that salty smell already, but it's like you can tell that there's a storm coming soon. And however that hits you, some people, that fills them with a little bit of unease, and some people are comforted by that. You don't really hear thunder rumbling or lightning, but you still know in your bones that it's there. And as you go forth into the island and your boots tread through the bit of sand before you get to cobblestone, you can see a city that is lively, as lively as you saw before you left. Definitely different than the one that you saw through scrying with Proximus. There still is a bit of a pull in the air. People aren't really meeting your eyes. You're a new person in town, and every now and then, somebody will kind of look at you and then, kind of just turn away quickly. And if you were to ever look back, you might not always see that person that had seen you before. They might have been moving off into a crowd, but you can see that construction is underway on several buildings, especially the inn, which is, as far as you can tell, nearing the end of construction over the course of several weeks, and a lot of hands working on it. You would pass by a number of businesses, Planned Parenthood, Father's Fine Finds, Part 2, Electro Boogaloo, library that's under construction, variety of other shops. There's a tattoo shop that has been set up. You can still see the cracks in the cobblestone of the streets. That hasn't been necessarily fully repaired. It is kind of just there as a marker. There's a fountain that you pass by. But all in all, you can hear birds sing in the trees, and you can see up on a hill there is a wizard's tower. A wizard's tower you'd be familiar with as you have seen it from the inside. You've left that tower. You've gone down that hill. And there's part of you that thinks maybe that's a good place. That's where you last would have seen your party. Would have been at that tower. At least that's where you presume they would have come out of. You don't really know where their houses are. You'd never been to Scarlett's home. You'd never been to Proximus's or Winnie's or Acacia's. With them meandering about, would you be looking out for anything, listening for anything?
I would definitely be listening to as many, like, would never stop to listen, but seeing that things are significantly better than they were and people relative to that baseline seem to be doing all right, would just kind of be curious about, like, do the conversations feel like actively avoiding the elephant in the room? Do they feel like people are finding a new rhythm and just trying to, again, just kind of vibe check everything? She would be wandering towards the direction of the keep. I think she would know better than just to go there, because she's like, this is clearly a place associated with them. Also, the only person I actually talked to there was an asshole. So, like, not gonna just straight up go there. And I think in wandering around town, if she doesn't see anybody and nobody else, like, stops or questions her, she will eventually get to a point where she'll be like, okay, before I commit to where I'm walking, I will cast sending to somebody, which Jenn knows better than to send it to Proximus, but Kallista doesn't. Would probably contact him just to be like, hey, I'm here, if nothing else stops me along the way.
I think as you are kind of walking about, as you look maybe lost a little bit. Not like you don't know where to find the thing you're looking for, but you just don't know where to go next. And you feel a hand kind of just like a couple of fingers just kind of tap down on your shoulder a little bit.
Oh, I hate that.
It lets go very quick. It's more just like a little tap.
Okay.
And you hear a voice, hey, you look like you're looking for something?
I did instantly tense up at the contact, because it's been a very long time since there's been like physical contact that hasn't been taking a hit.
Yeah,
so,
it's more just, it's like to turn around to slap you in the face.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, but like immediately let go. And I will turn to face who I'm hoping I'm going to turn around and see a Warforged.
It is indeed a Warforged. Yeah, this is a Warforged with black and gold kind of, coloration to their metallic frame. A head with these like bright circular eyes that just kind of tilts a little bit, and like he can't smile, but you can, like, it seems like he's smiling, and it's just kind of like one of those friendly sort of just hi, like retail kind of faces a little bit. You got really tense with that. I'm really sorry. I should have asked first. I should know better.
All right.
You look familiar, but oh, you came out of the circle and then just walked off after the elf boy was rude to you.
Yes. Kallista.
And you're back. Oh, Kallista. Hi, cheerio. Oh, look, we both got names. It's fun. Why can I help you?
I'm, I guess, looking for some people.
Hey, aren't we all? Am I right?
I'm kind of now at this point realizing how big this city town like actually is, and I'm like, realizing the odds of random person knowing the 4 individuals I'm looking for is gonna be insane. But like, if you can't help me, that's completely fine. I'm looking for a sea elf with a little shark man, and a
incredibly specific, but yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. I figured if I started very specific, that was going to give me my best chances of things. So you
Yeah,
know
let me
Winnie.
guess. Also looking for a half horse, half absolutely gorgeous lady. And then you're looking for a blue fishman with one eye, and then a pink-haired boss queen with a fiery hippo.
I didn't know about that last part, but yes, that was all very specific.
Yeah, no, they get more. There is a Scottish lion for some reason. There's a bird person. A whole bunch of them. Honestly, there's quite a few.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm weirdly not the weirdest one. So yeah, yeah. The host lady's my daughter.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you. I met all of them in the hills.
Yeah. No, I've heard not a lot about it. It seems pretty traumatic. So, but it's very nice that you're here, not there anymore.
I
and
agree.
You're back here.
Yeah,
for reasons.
I had a bad feeling, and then overheard some things and thought maybe I shouldn't have left and would come and see if I could help.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta trust your gut. I'd trust mine if I could find it, but it's been gone for a long time. Okay, so not here to kill them. That's good news.
No, goodness no.
Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, they've been through a little bit lately. Do you like tea?
I love tea.
Great. Let's go get a cup of tea. I think I'll see if I can find them, but I think you all got some catching up to do. You've come back at well, I was going to say a strange time, but I don't know when it's not strange for that group. They've got a lot going on.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, let's go get you something.
All right.
Let's go take our break. At that, when we come back, we will have more of our party rejoining together. Stick around. We'll be back in probably about 10-ish. Enjoy our ad reel. Please feel free to use any of our wonderful discount codes or affiliate codes or links for any number of our wonderful affiliates. Please consider tipping to our Pally if you like or even love what we do. It's very much appreciated, and there's some incentives, especially if you ever want to name a ship Boaty McBoatface. You can do that now. It's expensive because it needs to be. But yeah, check out all that and pet your pets, do the things. We'll be back. Vast and welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Horizon's Call, Season 5, Episode 10. Let's jump back into things. Kallista, you have made it to Phoenix Landing. You have, while wandering the town and maybe a little bit of the outskirts, the beach around it, you've seen faces that aren't overly familiar. You know, you were kind of, I have to imagine, in a little bit of a daze as you were leaving the island. Headed for whatever familiarity you could imagine to find at that point, only to determine that maybe that familiarity has been long since taken from you in this absence, where you have had your stint in the hells, a stint that for some might be short, but for you took a decade more, and you have felt the need for you, your abilities, to be back here on this island from the people that you had recently encountered, that had garnered you the ability to leave the hells. And so now, walking these cobblestone streets, you have seen a somewhat familiar face in a Warforged mechanical sort of way, with Curio, who has introduced himself and his connections to the party that you knew. And as you sit at a table in Father's Fine Finds, a kind of general store with magical goods in a glass case, and the walls lined like a Applebee's with a variety of items, Curio brings over a teapot and sets it down with 2 cups. And he sits in the chair and leans back. There's a window to your right, to his left, and he leans back a little bit against it and crosses his leg and kind of like turns to you sideways in the chair, and he goes, "So, tell me more about yourself."
Oh, Well, before I met everyone in Dis, I was from New Cavalon. Haven't seen that in a decade and a half, so I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, well,
anymore.
It's less new than it used to be, but yeah.
On the one hand, that's not the worst thing.
You got family?
So, that's a great question. I did when I left. No siblings, just parents who were enjoying some settling down for a little bit.
Okay.
Dad had taken up gardening, and mother was learning how to loom.
Love a good loom.
Mm-hmm.
And you went to hell?
And then I went to hell.
By choice?
Yes. I had made a promise to someone that I would help them on an endeavor of theirs that would require going back to Dis, and they became unable to do it themselves, and I thought it would be a nice way to honor them to still uphold my end of it.
Okay, so you're a bit of a hero then, huh?
I would not say that. Sorry, I haven't talked to people in a while and did not honestly think I would leave there, so I'm out of practice.
I can tell. That's all right. That's what we're doing right now. This is a nice little warm-up for you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just like clutching this cup of tea just right here. Just
Yeah, no one's gonna take it from you. It's all yours. I don't. I can, but I don't. It does me nothing.
Yes.
And it's decaf, so the shaking is all you. I need you to know that.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. So you're Acacia's father?
One of, yeah.
Okay.
Half of that equation, for sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my lovely partner, husband, Darius, I sent him out to see if he could go find the others. Bring him back here. So, just you and me. Shop's got a close sign on it. You got nothing to worry about, no stress.
What actually happened here?
Like, how far back?
I'm back because I overheard some Nerian soldiers talking about an attack that was waged on a little pirate haven that was near Hillholm, and I kind of put some pieces together.
Yeah, it's a pretty upsetting puzzle when you put it all together.
Yeah.
So, Phoenix Landing is the name of this town, and none of us are really from here. I'll just say that. I mean, I'm from a lot of places, but before this, it was Cora on Soteria. I don't know if you've ever been. Lovely place, used to be. This was our new home. This was our new Cavalon, in a lot of ways. But good things can't last. Lived a long time. It's one thing I've always learned. Good things don't last forever. Doesn't mean they can't be good again. It just means that, there's always going to be change and strife. So I have to imagine, stuck our noses in the wrong places, and we did something that the Empire didn't like, and I think that's just trying to be free. And the Empire decided to send us a little message. So they sent in some soldiers and this a real piece of work, Pirate Queen, gave us a little to-do about that, and then, Scarlett stood her ground. No end of respect to her for that. And so then they sent in some big, hefty, mutated monsters, which it seems like they were going to do that anyway, honestly, like regardless of the answer. So, at the end of the day, we're still here, most of us. Lost a few, but we rebuild. It's the only thing you can do is when you fall down, you just gotta keep getting up, keep reaching upwards. And every now and then somebody lends a hand down to you. So yeah, there's work to be done, but it must just be a day ending in Y at that point.
I understand that. I think this is the first relaxed sip of tea she actually takes. Thank you for the kind of quick rundown. I could see.
I'm a wealth of knowledge.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, have to imagine pretty hard. I've been around for a while.
And I start just looking around. It's a cute shop.
It's not bad. Not bad
It's
for
yours.
a new location. It's, built part of it myself.
Thank you.
Least I can do. Sounds like you helped save my daughter's life. I think a cup of tea is pretty minimal compared. I could always brew more. Can't get another one of her. She's one of a kind.
That she is. I don't think I've ever been carried by a giant eagle before.
Oh. Well, you haven't lived.
Quite the experience.
Yeah. It's stressful and relaxing. It's like being cradled by a nightmare.
I don't know. I did live in hell for a while. My bar for what
Oh,
counts
you've
as
been
a
cradled
night.
by plenty of nightmares.
Yeah, my bar for nightmare and what's concerning is a little bit skewed. That's going to take some time to reset.
Yeah. How's dating down there? I can't imagine that's easy.
Oh, atrocious.
Yeah. Not a lot of good options. Yeah.
No, not particularly. And any option that looks good, that's the first red flag.
Sure. Yeah. I can't imagine there's a lot of flags that aren't red down there. I spent a little bit of time here and there, down there, but it's been a while. I imagine things will probably change a little bit.
You'd be, well, literally, and also so much changes and so much stays the same.
Yeah. Did you ever meet Zariel?
No.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. She's fucking rude.
Yeah, Jenn is blanking on the name of the guy who escorted us out of the city. It started with a T.
Yes. Dispater's side person. Yeah, I'm also blanking on it.
Okay.
Him.
Yeah, she was like, I did meet insert name here.
Mm-hmm.
That was terrible.
Oh, yeah. No, I never had the pleasure, honestly. Dis wasn't really my vibe. I was more an in and out sort of person.
Frankly, I would find it concerning if it was your vibe.
Try not to kink shame. Anyway, they should be arriving here relatively soon.
Okay.
Yeah, when it was something like that, it was like Titilius or something like that.
Yeah.
Darius would go out and search for all of you, probably finding Scarlett around her home. Winnie, where would you be found?
Probably library.
Okay. So the library is still like somewhat under construction, but there's still an area where like the bookshelves have been set up, and I think we established like Sinji's doing some repairs on that as well. Brenna's in there kind of tending to some of the plants that have been placed in the library to give it that sort of like very cozy vibe. I will say that Proximus was at his home unless he states otherwise later. Acacia, where would you be found?
Home.
Okay. Then your dad, Darius, is going to knock on your door.
As soon as I hear like knocking on the door, does he how out of practice / how much of his rogue skills stay in use when he's around me in town? Can I hear his footsteps?
I can't imagine you hear his footsteps. It's like it's an already too late sort of thing as he knocks on the door and then is like leaning through the window as like your door's locked, I have to imagine. And he's not gonna pick it, but there definitely is like he's leaning through like, Acacia, why is your door locked?
As like out of habit, complete instinct, there is definitely a code Panveer and I have used in the past of like, you need to lay low, you need to go fucking hide, and it's just like it's a thieves' cant symbol of some sort. I just immediately do that.
Cauliflower. Yeah.
No, it's not cauliflower, but yeah, basically.
Okay. Yeah, he like instantly just like dives into the side room. His foot catches on the door. It closes behind him with like the softest of clothes, and he's gonna roll basically stealth for that.
I trot to the door and unlock it, and I'm just like, sorry.
You're
on
fine.
My nerves from a couple weeks ago. I know,
of course,
locks do not do shit against nightmare beasts, but
well, locked doors make good neighbors, especially in a town that's occupied mostly by former thieves.
And I know locked door's not going to do anything against them, but I just hope we all trust each other enough not to pick each other's locked doors open while they're not away for months and ends.
I would lock your door when you were younger just to see if you could pick your way out of it. So, no big deal. I always have a spare key if needs be.
That's why.
Yes.
Oh my god. Anyway.
You did so well. Anyway, one of your former companion, a friend of yours, is back in town. Blue Tiefling, I believe that you had spent some time with in Hills, Kallista. She's at the shop right now with your dad, so she will likely need some rescuing here soon.
That's right. Proximus said she was coming back, and you are correct.
He did not tell us.
He did not.
He did not?
He explicitly forgot. We don't know why he didn't tell us. Mikyl in chat did say he did not tell us.
Oh, never mind it.
So funny.
Kallista is here?
Yes.
I thought she left the island.
Apparently she did. Then she came back. Didn't even know we could go somewhere besides Hillhome and get back that soon, but seems as if she's felt the need.
Let's go save her before she drowns in dad jokes.
He leans past you just a little bit, like through the doorway. Why are there two sets of plates? Have you had guests recently?
Piper's being Piper. And
you're not letting the birds sit at the table, are you?
Have you met him? You notice how persistent he is?
Go ahead and roll me a deception check.
Hold on. It's a pretty good joke. I got a 23.
Okay. His eyes narrow just a little bit at you. All right. Yes. Well, just make sure you...
Does it look like he believes me or not? Or does he know that... Or can I tell that he knows that I'm lying?
Okay, so here's my thought process on this. I think that a person is either very good at lying to their parents or they're very bad at lying to their parents. You are a rogue. You were trained by your parents to be good at lying. And so there's also like that level of trust. Like, because you've been taught to be good at lying, there's no reason to lie to your parents. So I think that there's this point where he's like, why? But that makes sense. She would be teaching the bird to sit at the table. The bird is persistent. I did roll for it, and so he does seem to believe you.
Okay.
All right. Well, just make sure he wipes his feet, I suppose. We'll get a booster seat for him.
I think I'm just gonna get him a little nest.
All right. That's also an option. All right. Well, it's. Do you need anything for your home while I'm here? Do you need help cleaning up? It seems as if. You know.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
All
Do you
right.
want to ride back?
I'll get my steps in.
Does he look like he's trying to stay behind?
There's a little bit where he's like, he's still kind of leaning through the door. You notice his foot is like where the door would close a little bit. Just, I could stay back and just get things tidied up for you, especially since you'll be busy. You know, I always look after your house while you're gone.
Are overstepping.
Literally,
I stare at him.
He pulls his foot back. Fair enough. I will respect your boundaries. You're an adult. And
I love
don't
you.
Live in my house. Yes, I love you too.
Come on. Let's go.
And he does leave with you, but he does turn back because like you shut the door behind you, and there's this look as he like kind of leans through the window again. Yes, let's go.
Yeah, I know my little bowl of nature trinkets is very interesting. Let's go.
Yes. As you all are gathered by Darius to join at Father's Fine Finds, you can open the door, see the inside of their eclectic shop that smell of like saffron and herbs and potpourri, and just like it's very, very fragrant in here with all the variety of things that they fence here. And they're sitting at a table at the window is Curio and Kallista with a cup of tea.
Hello.
Kallista, you're back! Hello!
Hi, I'm assuming that Proximus is part of this, and be like, did you not?
So, yeah.
Yeah. Did you not tell them I was coming?
No, this is just a really nice surprise.
Okay, that's fine.
Wait.
There's been.
You knew. She's just gonna give like, oh look to Proximus.
You all have been dealing with a lot. It's understandable. Thought I would come and see if I might be able to help with either what's currently happening or what needs to come next. If you want it.
I don't think we'll say no to help. Right?
No,
Not to
that'd be
your
weird.
help specifically.
Do you
Well,
want to
my-
help us? Do you know what's coming next?
No.
It's been a lot of cleaning, really.
I could help. I could help with that if you really want it.
It seems like its own kind of hell, really. We're gonna need to get you somewhere to stay. Where are you
not-
staying now?
I just got in a little bit ago. And I'll point out, he found me kind of wandering around town trying to figure out what my next move would be to find you all. So I haven't gotten quite that far yet, but I'm not above taking a bedroll out to the woods. So
No, that's ridiculous. Well,
There are
unless you
nicer
want to, I
places.
guess. I've got a guest room. We've got a really nice inn that's like a quarter of the way built. Anyway,
I think a lot of people are also kind of staying there when they lost
Yeah.
their houses too. So
and that's my point. I want to make sure everyone who lives here is taken care of first. I'm fine being out of the way.
my room on the ship has a bed that I don't use.
I've got the extra living places at my house. But oddly enough, wasn't hurt.
I was about to ask if your place still had those rooms.
Got the one.
Yeah, we've got rooms around and about, so you don't have to stay outside. But I can also understand why maybe on the good days, it's nice to be out in nature and not in this. How did you get back?
I had been on a ship that we stopped in, I don't know where the emphasis needs to be on Elendor or Landor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time for Derek to correct me on the pronunciation of a thing in his world.
Depends on who you ask.
Also, that tiefling accent. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And I've always gone with Elendar. But...
Elendar. All right, great. We stopped for a little bit in Elendar. Heard some Nerian soldiers talking about, among other things, that there was an attack here that they were a part of, and I maybe did a little scry just to kind of check on things, and it didn't look good. So
It wasn't.
I very appropriately found a ship named the Hand of Fate that was heading back to Hillholm the next morning. So, sometimes signs are subtle, and sometimes they
Punch
eat you right in the face. Yes. So that kind of felt like a lot of the latter. I hadn't fully committed to the idea of where I was going, so got passage and started my way back.
Wish we had a happier town to welcome you with.
Yes, well, I did welcome you into Dis, so this is a step up. So you do at least have that going for you.
Yep.
Not that it's a competition. But I'm glad you got settled. Thank you, Curio, for sorting everything out.
Out of curiosity, what was Curio's kind of... It's so hard. I'll say expression, but I feel like that's a loose interpretation of the term. Did he have any sort of look on his face or, like, attitude, body language, during this reunion, story time, what have you?
You can roll insight if you'd like.
I would like. Dirty 20.
Yeah, so he's been, like I said, kind of sitting sideways in the chair, leaned back a little bit, leg crossed. You can see, like, the circular eyes will blink. They'll do, like, a click from time to time, and his head will tilt. And he does seem to, like, turn his head to whoever's talking, but you don't really see, like, any... He's keeping the body language a little bit down, right? The hands aren't, like, pressed together. You don't see anything. Like, anytime you might say something that's a little distressing, he might just flip his hands like, whoop, right. Yeah, you don't really get anything that's, like, just stressed or anything that's, like, yeah.
Okay, just curious.
If you want to help, we still have folks. I think we've got most of the major injuries covered, but there are still people who need to go through some physical therapy. We're still building. We're still trying to figure out the plan on how to protect the island henceforth.
Yeah, protect the island.
Yeah, Roland said something about hydras, Winnie. Is that something you wanna...
That was before I remembered that they were, like, bad for the environment. So now we're looking at something less invasive. More structurally sound, perhaps.
Yeah.
Melissa's just getting a flashback to all of the concerning things she made mental notes of. And this is just gonna...
Hey, Kallista, how good are you at, like, either stonemasonry or anatomy? Or both, ideally.
What?
Don't worry about it, Acacia. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm gonna worry about it now.
Not particularly with stonemasonry.
Okay, that's something.
The anatomy feels like a potentially loaded and easily misconstrued question. So what I will say is, if there are people who need some more intense healing magics, I do have some things that can fix some pretty major, what should be permanent injuries.
I don't mean to make you feel. I mean, that's good. That's actually really good, but absolutely not what I was looking for. But thank you.
Okay.
Also,
I'm like instantly like tensing. I'm just remembering. Also, Curdleback. Also, how do you feel about dying? Also,
we already talked about it.
So when Winnie says also, she's like, okay. Mm-hmm.
Also, it's really good that you got here when you did, the royal we, because I think we're probably heading out kind of soon, so that would have been really a bummer if you got here and we had just left for parts unknown.
Well, I could figure it out. If there are reconstruction efforts I can help with, I'm happy to. If there are other healing things I can help with, I am happy to. If there are things you know you are going to be going after when you depart here, especially knowing why you had gone to Dis in the first place, if there are other things I need to be prepared for, I can also just spend time making sure I am ready for whatever is coming that way.
Can you speak giant?
I do not speak giant.
Okay, that's fair.
Draconic?
That one, yes.
Ooh!
Okay.
Oh, that's
good to know.
Concerning a series of 1-2 questions, but okay.
Yeah. We just, well, you know that we're looking for rings and stuff. I'm pretty sure we told you that part.
She read the whole contract.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
I don't know entirely exactly what they are, but I know enough about...
we could show you one. Probably. Roland's probably going to get pissy about it, but it's okay.
Yeah, he's concerned enough about your magical creature efforts when I talked to him last.
Okay, you guys can show her the ring. I'll deal with that.
Yeah, I've been up there borrowing books from him, so he seems...
You've been talking to Roland? One-on-one?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Huh.
You feel okay?
Okay.
What was that, Scarlett?
Do you feel okay?
I am feeling fine. I'm feeling...
If I could reach you, I would check for a fever, but I am not that tall.
Jeffrey does it on your behalf.
I will bend down and put my forehead in your hand.
Aww.
I'm fine. I offered my assistance in trying to figure out how he can use the rings for protection, and I'm helping him with research and reading.
Wait, he accepted your help?
Yes. I know, I was surprised too.
Scarlett, we didn't die in hell, did we?
I don't think so.
Okay. I feel like that's a thing we'd know.
It wasn't for a lack of effort on anyone's part. That's
yeah.
Thanks for that confirmation.
It was a lot closer than I would have liked.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, we gotta go find more rings. Which sounds easy, but they're always somewhere really lousy to get to. So we've got one with the dragons, who some of them don't really like us right now.
For context, we raided and stole one of their ships, which had an egg on it.
We didn't steal the egg. We
did not steal the egg.
Yeah, they got
That's
safely...
kidnapping.
Yeah, we don't do that. A lot.
No, we don't kidnap.
Well, I didn't want to be like
very like hard on it because like maybe I was forgetting something, you know. But yeah, we don't
like
intend.
The first Jeffrey Dash.
He was going to die on that ship.
That was
without us.
different.
That was different.
We rescued him off the ship,
sort of die anyway. But
and we were going to take him back to the Fen.
Where he also probably would have died. Man, things really weren't looking good for Mr. Dash, were they? Anyway, there's a ring down by the broken bridge, which sounds really lovely this time of year. I think it's supposed to be gorgeous, but
Acacia's shaking her head no.
Yeah, it's with someone who also specifically really doesn't like us. There's another in the frozen north. We don't.
This is your okay, Kallista. This is your opportunity to just continue back to New Avalon.
Yeah, I'm real sorry. I don't think there's any there. I feel like that would have probably yeah. Not really our luck, if it.
We'll just see how it goes.
Alternatively, you could just stay here and help out with rebuilding and healing and stuff.
I mean this respectfully.
You don't have to.
You saw how the fight at the estate went. Do you really think that's the best place for me to be? Is here helping build stuff?
No.
No.
But the offer is there. If you want to just like chill out after getting back from Dis, being able to actually sleep in a nice tropical climate.
Being able to sleep has been an interesting readjustment. I don't think I know how to chill. So for the time being, my offer to assist where I can best be helpful stands.
I think our hot springs is still good if you want to try soaking in there a little bit. That'll help.
When was the last time you took a really nice bath?
Ooh. Quite long.
Okay. Maybe do that before we go. Like a little self-care.
I will do that. But yes, okay, so rings, yes. Is that related or not to the what Curious informed me is a pirate queen who showed up with some nightmare beasts to do all of this?
They're tangentially related.
Slightly-ish related. So, did we tell you? We mentioned the Empire.
Yeah, that they're not great.
Fuck them.
Which seems to be the one constant from my time before.
Thus, this pirate queen is a privateer for the Empire.
Oh, good.
She completely turned her back on actually being a pirate and is under their boot now.
Okay.
And they want us to also be under their boot.
But
But that's not really how we roll.
They're sellouts.
So.
They're also assholes.
Yeah.
That too.
There seems to be a lot of those around.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, not something you can just leave in the house. They're everywhere.
Is this a situation that will just kind of follow you while you are already going after rings, or is that something else you are going...
The Nerians are a worldwide problem.
Oh,
and they really
good.
don't like us. Also,
Okay.
But we're not like the only ones they don't like, but we have done a couple things they really don't like destroying their ice prison.
Burning ships and messing with their ports.
Stole like 50 arcane cores.
it was 30.
30,
My
50.
apologies.
Yeah, I really need to do something with those.
Can we use those in the defenses?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, for sure. But I'm definitely also going to keep some. Like.
Oh yeah, you don't have to
definitely.
give up your old collection.
Kallista, you feel a little tug, either on your, I think you're wearing pants, right? Yeah, your pant leg. And it's little Jeffrey, just looking up at you expectantly. I think he wants you to put out your hand.
Oh, all right. And I will hesitate a little bit and slowly put out my hand.
And he coughs up like a partially chewed crayon. And
thank you so much.
He does a little cough, and there's a scrap of paper that says "Welcome back." Not spelled real good at all.
I made you that.
Thank you, little Jeffrey. Would you like your crayon back? I will just gently just place that, like I'm feeding a penguin. We've all seen that. You'll just kind of put that back in there, and then just tap his little snoot.
Dance mode activated.
Oh,
Little Jeffrey, no.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that part of things. Thank you.
Your brain just kind of like tunes it out.
There was a lot to process over that couple of hours. So, had kind of, there was that until this moment. Forgot about and I pointed Winnie, your hamster ball. So there was.
Oh yeah.
Lots going on there.
That hardly ever happens.
But yes, if
we're like emotional white noise.
Thank you, little Jeffrey, for that
You're welcome.
inspirational description.
We should connect you with Constance. The Redemption's
Medic and
Chief
therapist.
medical officer. What?
Surgeon and
Surgeon.
therapist.
Yeah, she's been taking some correspondence courses for like therapy. So that'll help.
Does she even have any openings on her is she even taking new patients?
I don't know, Acacia. I don't know.
Yeah, what's your insurance plan?
It'll probably be different when we're out at sea, though, right? Because she won't have to worry about the island anymore.
I will keep that in mind. I did spend a long time in hell, so there's probably something I should unpack there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
United Healthcare. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's funny because that's what I actually have, and I was thinking it.
Same.
I was gonna think Kallista had like Blue Cross, Blue Shield.
Oh, that'd be very funny.
Dang.
Yes, if there's anything in particular I need to be prepared for, either with respect to known issues with the Empire, if there's more of those nightmare beast things, if there's whatever.
Wait.
What?
You have lightning powers, right?
Yes.
Where are you going with this?
The arcane cores. There's something there. There's something there. I gotta work it out, but
I've lived on this island this entire time, Winnie.
I know, but now there's two of you. That's like double the power.
Anyway, I look at Kallista and I look at her up and down with her armor. You've been away for a while. Do you have a way to breathe underwater and not drown if you fall overboard?
Oh yeah, can you swim?
Not with armor.
These are a lot of questions.
She's burly. I don't know. Maybe.
To answer Acacia's question, I do not. It is not something that I needed to be responsible for before.
Okay. Come see me later. I ended up with a spare necklace of adaption that you're more than welcome to use.
I feel like that would be handy. Do we
might even have something in the back, honestly. I can take a look.
Ooh.
I appreciate that. The fact that we immediately went for if I fall overboard, do people tend to fall off your ship a lot? I feel like I should ask this question.
It's a basic safety measure. It's actually very few people.
But I've seen you try and sneak.
Yeah, I don't know how those two things are related, but
you need to be
my
usually light on
limited
your
time on the ship, it's more of a voluntary sort of jumping off. There's a lot of they go in a lot.
Also, storms don't give a shit if you want to stay on the ship or not.
Well, for most people, anyways. I will say when I think it's Curio that said that they tend to go off the ship into the water a lot. I think everyone kind of watches like Kallista tense a little bit with that. Yes, something to help me breathe as a precaution would be great. And then I will look to Winnie and be like, to answer your question, I can swim enough to not sink, but I am slow. So it might be something if we're expecting that to be an issue. Maybe some of my time here will just be getting some of my strength back and doing what amounts to weight training in the shallow parts and see if I can be a little bit less of a slowdown for deep sea adventures.
It's not about you slowing anybody down. It's just that, like, in an emergency situation, like...
Oh, in an emergency, I have other... I can get out of the water very quickly. But moving through it to get to an actual goal is...
Oh, okay.
Yes, I have a couple of ways to
Not
GTFO, as it were, yes.
Worst comes to worst, I can always polymorph you into a fish.
There we go. We have multiple solutions.
I need to figure out how to give little Jeffrey swim speed.
No.
I can't just drag him everywhere. What?
He has fins.
He does.
You need to give him a little propeller.
Instead
I
of like
guess
actually like
technically he
swimming,
does,
they
but-
just like spin like
His
a propeller.
little motor just like rotates down like some sort of James Bond item.
I mean, technically, he has swim speed. It's just
Half
his
of yeah.
movement. Yeah.
No natural swim speed.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can work on that if we can take care of the whole breathing thing. And I think this is the first time I look around the room and realize that, like, all of these people, with the exception of Acacia, like, I was like, yeah, they can, of course they can move through the water easily and breathe it easily.
Scamp.
No, we don't tend to need to worry about that. But yeah, that is one of the things I can work on in my time here. That clearly won't be an all day, everyday thing, because that would be probably counterproductive just from the exhaustion standpoint. So I will be available to help with other things.
So, I know you want to help a lot, but going back to what we were saying before about maybe resting, taking care of yourself after your very long extended stay in hell would be a good idea.
I will take an evening.
Multiple.
Who? Minimum?
We'll start with one. I could certainly use a stiff drink. The tea has been lovely, and I will get curious. Tea has been lovely. I will absolutely love something strong for a night.
Did we introduce you to red drink?
You
oh,
mentioned
yes.
red drink.
Yes.
Is that I do remember that coming up. So sure, why not? New experiences.
There's also brandy if you don't like that. That I just finished, but I don't know what state the tavern is in, but we definitely have stuff around.
Good.
All of our residents have at least a bottle of something. Winnie's probably multiple.
Oh, so many. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So as you all decide to go off into the late afternoon at this point.
I want to talk to my dads before
Yeah.
I leave. So after everyone else leaves.
Mhm.
Do you two have a minute?
Yeah. I mean, we were gonna go dig through the stuff in the back, see if we can find something for your new friend there. I've got lots of stuff that have just been kind of saving that I can't give any of your current friends because they all have like this weird thing this or this weird thing that, and I just come across stuff, and we're shopkeepers, not hoarders. But yeah, no, we can walk and talk.
Okay. No. Here's fine. In the shop is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dad, Pops, I need you to promise me you're not going to get angry or overreact or go out and try to do a murder. Look at me in the eyes and tell me and promise me with no crossing the fingers behind backs.
Carrier holds up all of his hands. I can promise most of those. I'm not going to tell you which ones.
I look at Darius.
Why?
Promise first. Or I won't tell you.
This is the most obvious trap that I've ever walked into. Oh, I'm going to want to kill someone after this. I know I'm going to want to kill someone, and I...
Go fishing and kill a fish.
The fish doesn't have it coming. It feels like this... Fine. I promise.
Okay. Panvir's on the island.
All right. That's...
You promised. You fucking promised.
I didn't. I said all right. I said all right. I didn't ask for any sort of weapon or accoutrement. I said all right. Why? Where? When? How? What the fuck?
Stowed away on the Nerian ship on the day of Scarlett's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been here a couple weeks.
Okay. And how long have you known?
Since the day after the wedding.
Great. Oh, that's... Okay.
You said all the questions at once. I need you to repeat them.
I did. I'm so sorry. It's all the normal ones. Okay, so we've got the who, we've got the when. Where is he now?
That feels like a trick question.
I've made a promise. He looks at Kira. I made a promise.
We both did.
We did. Do you know where he is right now?
I do.
Right.
I need you to promise me that if you see him, you're not gonna murder him.
Fuck, he's at your house, isn't he?
I will neither
You weren't
confirm
teaching
nor
the
deny.
bird to sit at the table. Why did we teach her to lie?
To be fair, I have had to kick Piper off the table in the past, so it wasn't a complete lie.
Why is he here? Why can't we kill him? 2 questions. I respect that, but both are important.
We're both trying to figure out that first one.
Okay.
And you can't kill him because I asked you not to.
Kira just shrugs. Good enough for me. All right. What do you need from us right now?
Mostly just a promise not to kill, harm, embarrass, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
Yeah.
Would you like us to come and speak to him diplomatically?
I'll let you know.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like space and respectful of boundaries, and the agreement not to harm your new roommate.
Yeah, that's the long and short of it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Short, right? That's yeah.
Yeah, like he's never heard that from you before.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he loved that joke.
No, he
He's
didn't.
always just like staring me right in the eyes.
You know how many times I've had to swipe the knife off of him before he stabbed it into your Achilles heel? You know how many times I failed to get the knife from him?
Yeah, I know. I value my Achilles heel. It's a collectible item. Can't believe he kept stabbing it. Hey, all right, listen. We're gonna. You need anything? You know where to find us. Strong, independent centaur. Don't need no dads. Yeah, you're great. You got this. He hasn't killed you yet, and you haven't killed him. And honestly, that's what I call growth. So, yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I will pull both of them into a hug.
Darius is like so stiff. Like every muscle is so tense. He's like he's taken his earrings off and put them back on several times at this point.
I'm not letting go until you hug me back.
Don't threaten me with a good time. He finally hugs you back. Hey, Darius, she's got a one-eyed halfling living in her house. I mean, that's... Who would have thought, right? I mean... But hey, it's part of adulthood, right? It's learning to live with other people and sorting out your differences and not killing people when they piss you off. I mean, that's some good stuff. We're proud of you, kiddo. Despite the... I'm gonna deal with the aftermath of this. I need you to know that, but you don't have to be here for that.
Thank you.
I'm gonna find that thing for your new blue friend. Got a lot of blue friends.
I was literally thinking that as soon as you said it.
A lot of blues, yeah. But I'm pretty sure I got something in a chest back here, so I'll find you and or her when I find it. But,
maybe something with a swim speed, because the necklace of adaptation doesn't have a swim speed.
Same brain. Yeah.
Right. Give them both kisses on the head, and I'll skedaddle.
Yeah. And like the door closes, you just hear, "What the fuck, Curio?" Okay. You all go back to your respective abodes, or I guess you all were planning on getting drinks, right? That was the plan. Yeah.
Kallista's drinking.
I do send a sending to Panveer and be like, I did tell my dads, I'm gonna go drink. I'll be back later. Bye.
Incredible.
To be clear, we still don't know though, right?
Correct. Also, I did make them promise they wouldn't kill you. Or hurt you.
You get back. I'm still going to hide in the woods for a few days. I'll be back when the coast is clear. Okay. The tavern has had some decent repairs to it. There's still like an open wall that's still under repair, but the bar has been open and there are tavern goers, and so absolutely you would be able to find bottle service available. And as you all enter the tavern, you can see that in the corner, Valerie, the Earth Genasi, and her otter friend Edgar have been strumming on their twin lutes. And you walk into a few other people who are sitting at the bar or at the tables. Connery is there, and he turns around as the door opens and looks at all of you, and then just pushes his way back and goes walking out the door, and then looks kind of like Kallista a little bit, and he goes, "Another one."
You seem charming.
Thank you.
Connery, wait, you gotta meet Kallista. She's our new friend and crewmate. Maybe not one of the crewmates.
To be determined on which
TBD.
Which ship.
But you'll see her a lot more often. Kallista, this is Connery, current captain of the Redemption.
Well, I'm glad we checked that off. Done and done. I suppose
He
I'll
has
be
soft
seeing...
paws.
He leans and he goes, I told you not to tell anyone that.
Obvious.
I'm gonna lead.
Will be-
I want to lead over to Scarlett and like it's a secret. I'm talking in a normal voice. I want him to hear me. Be like, so is he always this energetic and welcoming, or is this a special occasion?
No, completely normal.
Good to know. Well, nice to meet you, Captain.
When you should be worried when he is any friendlier.
Yes, nice to meet you, crewmate. Do you have experience on a ship?
Limited.
All right. What are your particular skills?
Saving our asses.
Oh, so you know how to kill them.
Yes.
Any objections to outright piracy and brigandry or swashbuckling?
I'm gonna lean forward a little bit. I lived in the city of Dis for 15 years. I think I got it covered.
Well, that's resume you can't stick your nose up at. All right. Fine. I'll show you what you need to know, but just don't get in the way. And don't ask stupid questions. And don't be like her, and he's going to point at Winnie. I only need one of those. A need is still a strong word. I can tolerate one of those.
I don't think there could be more of Winnie, or anyone like Winnie.
That's true, but she said she lived in the Hells, and I have to imagine mine is very specific.
Don't worry, Kallista. There are no stupid questions.
Right.
I promise I will not hinder your well-maintained ship and crew.
Now that's the stretching statement.
Just glares at you and goes, let her have her delusions for now.
Hey, for all you know, she could be on the Mercy, and then she won't have to deal with the redemption.
If she wanted the subpar ship, I suppose she could make that choice.
Excuse you.
Subpar ship, subpar captain. Make your choice.
Plus, it's not like we don't all go back and forth quite a bit. Well, by all, I
Connor
mean...
and I go way back. I promise
Yeah.
we do like each other.
Well, I had prior engagements I was on my way to, but I think I could cancel. It seems as if we should all grab a drink together. Captains, crew, get to know each other a bit better, talk about all the people we've killed.
Barkeep, a round of red drink, please.
I'm no.
I'll have yours, it's okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
And also whatever Acacia's drinking.
What does Acacia drink? What's Acacia's go-to?
Acacia's not drinking alcohol right now.
Say, it's probably for the best.
So yeah, she's just gonna get something. If there's juice.
We know what happened last time.
If we have red
Exactly.
drink, which is
Yeah.
sometimes alcoholic, sometimes not, I'm sure there is a list of mocktails. Like,
She'll either get like a mocktail or just like a juice.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, as you all grab a table with Connery and do a little, hey, maybe we'll do another Truth or Truth just to insert here
God,
at some point.
please.
Yes.
We can do that at a later point. I think that's probably a good place for us to end tonight. So join us next time as our intrepid heroes, our horizon hopping heroes, as Mikyl likes to say, return and probably delve into a new adventure then. Their crew having grown by one, And let's go ahead and let's do our outros. Now, I will have these lovely people say more about themselves and where you can find more of them. I do want to say before all of that, that if you enjoy what we do here, you can always tip at pally.gg. The link is in all of our socials as well as in chat. And everything that you are generous and able enough to tip, both those things being important together, can impact our game and gets evenly distributed amongst these wonderful people. So you can always do that in the middle of the week. It just goes forward to whatever the next game is, and yeah, it's always much appreciated. We do this essentially for free, and because or I should say Sword and Key in general doesn't really break even with all of our licenses and everything. If you subscribe, if you do the bits, all that kind of stuff, it's great, goes towards the channel, helps us to break even, but in the meantime we do try to support our players as best as possible. So you have the ability to do that, but never the obligation. That said, we'll do, like I said, I'll have these people say where you can find more of them, and then we'll do channel stuff, and then we'll wrap up for the night, and maybe even raid somebody, depending on who's streaming out there right now. So let's go ahead and go around. Mare, if you don't mind starting us out.
Hi, I'm Mare. You can find me on all applicable social media, Archmage of Dice. Right now, I'm here as your Sword and Key person that is on this channel that plays games. I also run tech for the Monday game at 6 p.m. Eastern, Fragments of Lost, or Rangers of a Broken World system. And I'm also going to just say, just so I can hold myself accountable, I am eventually, hopefully, going to be putting out a casting call. If you don't see a casting call out from me, like by the end of the month, yell at me on BlueSky.
Fair enough.
Accountable. Just do it.
You heard it here.
Absolutely. And we will have other casting calls, other applications out here soon as well for Pride Month. So yes, if you don't see those, you can yell at all of us, but we'll make sure that Mare has something out soon as well. Next up, we have Eva.
Hi, hello, it's me, Eva. I have enjoyed my time as your Sea Elf Artificer Bard today. Although I didn't do a lot of barding, that's okay. I have the pleasure of being part of Tales from the Loop, airing tomorrow morning, and got some things coming down the pipeline. I think it's just that for now, though. Running a lot of tech. Yeah. I feel like there's something super important that I'm forgetting, but maybe not. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, you got Tales from the Loop, and then coming up in a little bit, we'll have another game as well that Mikyl will be running, but we can talk about that later.
Yes, I just forgot the name of it. Because we're not doing Mothership anymore.
No.
It's
Blood on the Lens.
Blood on the Lens, yeah, because it's not Blood on the Clock Tower, it's Blood on the Lens.
Right.
So close.
Blood on the Lens. Yeah. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. Next up, we would typically have Mikyl. Mikyl is our resident artist. He does all of the art that you see on the screen, all of our promotional stuff as well. Even the Proximus art that's like in the box, he did that. You can find all of his stuff on BlueSky and Instagram. It's MIKYL SANDOVAL, Sand Oval, and Mikyl, not the way you think it's spelled. You can also see all of his artwork. He has a dedicated channel on our Discord, and I'll talk about how you can join our Discord here momentarily as well. But check him out, commission him if you're looking to get some art for your own channel stuff or for your character, anything like that. He's absolutely fantastic. He does a great job, and he deserves to be paid for it, even if that payment happens to be in Warhammer 40k models. Yeah, next up we have Kaila.
Hi, hello, I'm Kaila. I've been your Siren Storm Sorcerer, Scarlett Shores, who just really wants a break. I am a Sword and Key exclusive, but as Derek was saying about the Pride Month games, I might have put in a game request, so stay tuned to hear more about that. I'm just here on Saturdays so far.
I'm very excited for Kayla's game. We'll probably run on Fridays, so we'll have more news about that here soon. And then we have the very lovely Jenn.
Hi, I'm Jenn. I'm Lizolda in all the places. I'm also Long Dog Dice. And if you liked the dice that Derek showed off at the beginning of the stream and that I posted pictures of in the art channel, those will be a thing you can get at a later time. But when I'm not here, I'm usually streaming a weird murder mystery game of usually from a very visual novel and or very, very Japanese anime. They're all unhinged. And that's me.
Amazing. Thank you to my wonderful cast. Thank you to you in the audience for joining us. I don't know why Mare was just full screen. It's fine. It's her new overlay. It's great. It was just a little spotlight for Mare.
It me.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. Eva has made this fantastic, what do I want to say? Not interactive, but dynamic. That's the word. Thank you so much. Dynamic screen that moves around, and a lot of work has gone into it. So it's awesome. It's very much appreciated. If you were looking for Sword and Key stuff, you can actually, before even that, hi, I'm Derek Sword. I use Sam pronouns. I have been your GM for this game. I am the Sword half of Sword and Key. Sword is my real last name. Yes, it's awesome. No, you can't have it. If you were looking for all of Sword and Key stuff, beacons.ai/Sword and Key has all of the neat stuff in one neat, nice place. At the very top is Twitch. If you're watching this live, hey, you did it. You're there. Go ahead and give us a follow if you don't mind. If you are watching this later on YouTube, that link is lower on the beacons, but you can always check us out live on Twitch. Give us a follow and check out all of our VODs, our recent ones, and then everything else is posted later to YouTube. That's youtube.com/@swordandkey. Also on our beacons, as you scroll down a little bit more, is the link to our Discord. You are more than welcome to join the Discord as long as you are a chill person, and I'm sure you are if you're watching this. Hang out, talk about your pets, talk about your cooking, talk about your physical fitness journey, talk about your games, see applications first, participate in our movie nights that are totally free. They happen every other Friday. Lots of cool stuff in our Discord and lots of great people there as well. Definitely check it out. Also on our beacons, you can find our affiliate links. We are affiliates with a number of fantastic companies, like Jenn's Long Dog Dice. So again, if you didn't see at the beginning, these are the Horizons Call dice that she was excellent enough to make, and they are absolutely gorgeous. And I hit my mic, and so they have like little bits of like copper in them, and then they're this really pretty shade of blue. I have a full set, as Jenn was mentioning. They are going to be in the store in the relative near future. And then the other really cool thing, if I can get it out of this little dice tray that I now have now, Jenn was really cool to make a Sword and Key logo on the D6, and it turned out absolutely incredible. So highly recommend checking out Long Dog Dice and getting a dice set for yourself. There's no shortage of excellent selections, and then just in case you are looking for something that's, you look through all of it and nothing hit exactly what you wanted, there are forms that you can fill out to get a custom dice set like the ones that I got made. And get your perfect dice set there. You can use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase. We are also affiliates with Eldritch Foundry for custom minis. No matter how weird and wild your character might be, you can make a mini of them and their mount, and some really cool bases. Lots of options for character options, like special options and the items they carry and everything else like that. And you can use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase there. And also, we're affiliates with Hit Point Press, the makers of Humblewood, and I don't have any of the books near me, and the Griffin Saddlebag books, and I recently got the Humblewood graphic novel for Want of a Nail. Absolutely beautiful, fantastic. They have music licenses and like stuff that you can stream with, or VTTs or minis, or so much cool stuff. Animated spell cards, lots of really, really cool stuff on Hit Point Press, and we have a custom affiliate link if you're going to be purchasing anything from them. Yeah, other than that, we do also have the links to our Pally, as well as some charitable organizations that you can put your money towards, should you be wanting to do that. And there's also links to the podcast Monster Crush. It's a podcast to do with my friend LD. We talk about different cryptid creatures, miscellaneous monsters from myth, and how salvageable they are. So it's the only podcast that's currently part of the greater Sword and Key family, but it is found wherever podcasts are found, and it's pretty great. We recently just released episode 102, I want to say. So we recently hit our episode 100, which was really great, and we've been powering through and doing even more cool stuff. I want to say we recently did an episode. Oh, it was our Mother's Day episode. That's what it was. That's because we had an episode about man-eating trees, but then we just did our mommy's episode, which was about a monster mommy. So yeah, check it out. We'll have another episode coming out here soon. And speaking of our calendar, looking at our calendar, today is the 17th. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific time, we have, as Eva was mentioning, the next episode of Tales from the Loop that is run by the wonderful Anik. That is the penultimate episode, I believe. Yeah, with the finale being on June 1st. We also have the penultimate episode of Thunderbolts Savage at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That is a Marvel Multiverse game that I'm running. Fantastic cast for that. Marvel Multiverse Thunderbolts Savage is raising money for Living Arts Detroit. At 3 p.m. Pacific time on Monday, as Mare mentioned, is Fragments of Lost. That is their second episode. If you didn't catch the premiere, you can do that through our VODs, or I think it might be posted to YouTube already. So you can check that out. It's a great game. It's run by the wonderful Angela, Phoenix 24 Femme. Great cast for that. On Tuesdays, we do Gate Night at 7 p.m. Pacific time. It is where Shadow, LD, and I play Baldur's Gate 3, currently the only video game streamed here on Sword and Key, because it's basically just D&D the video game. And then every Saturday, we have Horizon's Call at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Other than that, we're going to have, like I said, applications out here real soon, because Pride Month is nigh. It is nearly upon us. So we will have stuff almost every day of the week at this point. But one of the things we can look forward to is Sundays after Thunderbolts wraps up. I will be running at 3 p.m. Pacific time, Cursed Captains of Cthulhu. We also have, and that's going to start the 8th. Also on the 8th, we have a Sword and Tea at 10 a.m. With Uneasy Lies the Head and the creator Adam Bell. Sword and Tea is our game chat show, and that is a game about political intrigue and backstabbing in a royal court. It's pretty great. And then, yes, once we get the applications out and the date set, we'll have everything else out here real soon. So definitely look out for those applications. I'm going to see if we can maybe get those out tomorrow, and then we'll probably close those applications within the week. So Discord's the best place to see those first. Social media second. Again, social media is BlueSky and Instagram. We are not currently using Twitter. Other than that, I think tonight we're going to raid Stella Luna. Stella Luna is absolutely amazing. Great channel over there, and she always does some really awesome stuff with some awesome people. So go spread some positivity over there. And until next time, I hope to see you next week, if not sooner. Take care of yourselves, take care of others, be kind to yourself, and always remember that, to have the motto of Horizon's Call in your heart: fair winds and following seas, brave mariners. See you next time.